Alright, today we're going to talk about how systems, all kinds of systems, require our permission to function and survive. I'll probably tighten that title when I chuck this up to YouTube, but that's basically the gist of it. It's windy today, so I'm using these sunglasses to tame my hair, and I have a nice little tree next to me that's gonna hopefully act as a wall between the wind and the microphone. So let's see. Alright, systems. Let's start with what a system is. A system is a large meeting of energy around a core belief, around a core goal. So we have school systems, we have health systems, we have financial systems, we have family systems. They can be big, they can be small. The big one that we have is the kind of human system, the socio-economic system, and then you have country systems, and then you have etc. There is obviously a dominant system that dominates human functioning and human society as we live on Earth today, and that dictates how countries are set up. You have some that are trying to buck the norm, your Irans, your Cubas, your Russias, etc. And you notice how there's a tension between the more dominant Western system, America, UK, Australia. You know, there is obviously an agreement between the US and China, etc. I don't want to go too far into the politics of it, but there's a dominant system that dictates taxation, leadership, governance, etc. Right? Systems. We know what systems are. Systems aren't real. You know, you come out and touch this plant. This plant has no real concept of being taxed or having to go through certain ways and means to get water. The water doesn't come through a pipe, through a tap to reach it. It just goes down into the soil and grabs it. So I guess there is a distinction between real systems and synthetic systems. That's a good point. There are real systems. We have a body, we have an energy system, we have a cardiovascular system, respiratory system. The plants have their own version of systems. This beautiful creek next to me and the waterways, they have their own systems. These are kind of naturally occurring, that work in harmony to keep homeostasis or balance. And then there's man-made synthetic systems. So what I'm really talking about here is the synthetic systems, the man-made ones that are designed in such a way to extract energy of the human, weaken the human, and survive on the human. So they're synthetic and they're parasitic by their very nature. The state survives on freedom and law. So it gives you a little bit of freedom, but it covers you with this law, taxation, the flow of capital, all that good stuff. That kind of system is by its very nature is parasitic. Why is it parasitic? Because it serves a few people that sit at the top of this system, and they are, kind of parasites. I think the perfect personification of that is like a monarchy, right? the king and the queen, extract wealth and resources, broaden their horizons. They created a commonwealth and an empire to basically sap the energy through the productive means of people, just everything that we spoke about before, your energy going towards a job within the system. It can direct your energy that way, and they have lovely palaces, and they have lovely food, and all that good stuff. So the direction of travel is from the people to the few, and that system is very carefully designed, and it makes use of every tool in the book. It indoctrinates you through mass media. It weakens your body through meat and sugar and alcohol. Promotes it via psychologically tempting advertising. Gets into the youth. Peppa Pig, as he's well in the system, and your niece or daughter or son or nephew begin to absorb this, and it becomes stuck as a really core belief of this is how life works on this planet. And you get brought in. You go through school. If you don't go to school, you have to go through all sorts of hoops to satisfy the government. You're born in a hospital. I don't know that is necessary. Hospitals didn't exist for the Amazonian tribes and whatnot, but obviously they do exist for us. That's part of the system, and it's funded by our tax, etc., etc. We all know this, right? And if you don't, just start to look at it objectively. How is this system set up? Who benefits from this system? Who is weakened by this system? Who is enslaved by this system? Etc. And it will be kind of crystal clear. And it's a synthetic system. It's systems that aren't inherently good or bad. The synthetic system has some net positives. It's got, you can get a nice house and stuff like that, but I think you'll find that older civilizations pre these kind of systems lived comfortably, lived healthily, and were very innovative, and had probably better technology than we have today. But that's besides the point. The point of the video is they exist. It is what it is. This isn't a take down the system video, and it is what it is, and we live within the means of that. And I believe that with a critical mass of people, we could create something that's a bit more equitable and fair and decentralized and nourishing. But that's we got to walk before we can run. It takes people waking up to how we're currently living, and making change to their own life, and that's where this video comes in. So these systems function and survive on your energy, and your energy is within your control. We unconsciously, and this is how the system is able to kind of hook into us. It can basically indoctrinate us and make us unconsciously give our power away, give our energy away, cause trauma, cause thought patterns, cause desire, etc., whereby you're unwillingly, unknowingly always giving your power away and weak, and you're lost, and you have no real sense of, I can actually direct my control my power, control my energy, direct my energy, which is the gift of a human being. but it's sapped from you, and you're convinced that you need to go down the conveyor belts of having a good job, getting a mortgage, etc., all that good stuff. But they actually only survive on our permission. We have the right to choose to energize it or not. That is our gift, and that is our power. For anyone that watches film and TV, or is a film buff, or likes mythology, or likes story, I'll point you to the story of vampires. So Buffy the Vampire, Sinners, Vampire Diaries, these Twilight. This is all pretty good stuff for what I'm talking about. The vampire personifies this kind of parasitic system, and the blood personifies the energy, and it survives it where it lacks energy and it needs outside energy to sustain itself. It hooks into you and extracts that energy, weakens you until eventually it turns you into a vampire, and then you've got to go, or you get indoctrinated by the system, and then you've got to go out and get it from other people, and that's how it survives, and that's how it expands. But what you will notice is with vampires is your house, your body, your consciousness, they always need your permission to come in, right? So they need your permission to come in. So that's what your choice is. You can actually choose to give your energy to this system or not, and at any time you can choose to withdraw it, reclaim it, and strengthen yourself. Think about taxation. Taxation, although there's a whole microsystem around it of CPAs, accountants, finance, tax lawyers, etc., and there's a legal code and all this good stuff. When you really boil it down, it's a voluntary thing. It's voluntary. So you got to give your permission, your currency, your energy. You give permission to give that to the state. Same thing with a lot of things, honestly. So it's really you're in losing track. So you give permission to your energy. So you have to reclaim your power as a human being. Understand that the energy within you have the choice to direct it wherever you want, and you can actually direct it into areas that contribute to your own creative expansion, your own joy, your own upliftment, your own nourishment, and you won't feel so sapped, you won't feel so anxious, and you won't feel so guilty, and your whole vibration of your being rises. So it's very important to understand this ability. This is a gift of a human being. If you've got blood running through your veins, and it doesn't matter, you don't have to be qualified, you don't have to have learned. We got intruders, so I'm going to pause here. Okay, this is where I'm going to summarize. Got intruders coming. You give permission to your energy where it goes. That's your choice as a human being. So today, exercise that choice and choose where you put your energy. Okay, love. There you go. I had a family walk past, and I have no issue with what I'm saying. I'm sharing it publicly on the internet, but not everyone is. This message will resonate with certain people. It will find certain people. I don't know these people, so I don't want to give them a rude awakening. They're walking past, having a crack at the system. You know what I mean? There's a family, they're married, they got a son, so they everyone's running their own race, you know. So everyone comes to understand this stuff in their own time. So I paused the video and let them pass. And to be honest, I was pretty much wrapped up. So whether I include this or not, we'll see. But basically, where I wanted to summarize is that your energy is your most important. It is you. That's the most important part about you. You aren't just because you have this bodysuit, flesh and bones, and face and appearance and clothes and your avatar and all this good stuff. You're an energy system. You're an energy being, and for whatever reason that we might understand, we might not understand, you're here in this realm, on this earth, on this planet, and your goal is creative expansion, joy, upliftment, raising the vibration. And unfortunately, and the system is us, because as we energize it, I energize it, you energize it, we energize and create this system that is dragging us down and taking us into war, pain, suffering. You know, we've gone so far into energy extraction that we're going after children. So it's not in a good place, right? So, and that's us. It's not. We can't separate ourselves from this system. This is us because we energize it. It's an energy system, and we, through our permission, pour energy into it and continue to sustain it. As soon as you starve it of your energy, and we all starve it of our energy, it dies. It's got nothing to sustain itself on, and that energy then is free to go somewhere else. Anyone that studied physics or knows any kind of physics knows that energy can never be destroyed. Energy cannot be destroyed nor created. Energy is infinite, and it just transfers into other areas. It's transferable, and the gift of the human is to choose where you place it. And we unconsciously we trick ourselves into placing it into a system that's dragging us down. So starting today, start to look where you're putting your energy and start to reclaim your energy. Your energy only goes where you choose for it to go, and that is your power. That's called reclaiming your power, by understanding that it is your choice. And don't beat yourself up about making poor choices or sustaining things that aren't good for you. That only creates more problems. See it clearly, what you're energizing, reclaim your energy, direct it elsewhere for your own upliftment. I'll leave you with this. When we were talking about film and TV, this always stuck with me. For anyone that watched The Simpsons growing up, like myself, there's an episode, I think it's one of the Treehouse Halloween specials, where all the advertising characters around Springfield come to life. You got the guy with the donut, you got some cowboy, you got loads of them, maybe a Ken Brockman, I can't quite remember, but they come to life and they start destroying the city, and the residents trying to figure out what to do. They're getting destroyed, and Lisa figures out that by looking at it, you sustain it, and it remains a monster. And that, you know, typical Simpsons, they make it absolutely hilarious, but they create a jingle, and it goes, you know, just don't look, just don't look. And the jingle, it's like using the trick of the system, using the advertising, the trick of the system, using a jingle. They convince all the residents to remove their energy from these monsters, and one by one they start to die. It's only the last one standing is the one with the donut, because Homer, being Homer, is just salivating over it, and they pull him away, and it collapses. But that's exactly the situation we're in. So many of you that resonate with this video will know and see that the system is kind of just dragging us down. The system that we've created, that we energize, is dragging us down. But what it does is it convinces us to energize it by also convincing us to hate it and want to burn the system, and that also energizes it. You know, withdraw your energy completely. Go within. Go check out some leaves and some plants. Go for a swim. Do things you enjoy. Paint, watch movies, play football. And start the process of being able to account for your energy and see where it's going and what you're energizing. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can combine those videos, and it's gonna, yeah, okay, that was good.